Greetings on this cool and drizzly April afternoon. Dorcas and I are the only two here on the video today, as Beth is in Virginia this weekend, visiting her son and daughter-in-law and grandkids. Now that she and Jerry are fully vaccinated, they are finally able to spend time with them in a way they have been anticipating for so long. So we wish her a joyful trip, and we will see her again next week.
This week has been a bit of a return to cooler weather and rain, which is a change from all the warmth and sun of last week. But this too is a part of spring, so we bundle up a bit more and welcome the nourishment the rain brings to all the growing things. And meanwhile, the light green leaves on the trees are beginning to show, and more flowers and plants are visible these days for many of us. The signs of spring are a hopeful undercurrent to our lives.
At the same time, this week has held reminders of some of the deep brokenness in our world. Names were added to the list of African Americans killed by police, and familiar names brought to the surface again this week. George Floyd, Daunte Wright, Adam Toledo. These deaths increase the sense of vulnerability for many people of color in our community and in our country. This is a kind of vulnerability that I, as a white woman, have never known. But as followers of Jesus, we are called to weep with those who are weeping. And so this week we experience both the abundance and the fragility of life. We weep and also we hope.
This sense of both and is fitting for the Easter season. Here we are knowing the truth of the resurrection and yet feeling so far from the fulfillment of all hope. The disciples themselves respond to the news of resurrection with confusion, doubt, and even fear. So we are not alone as we wonder, what does all this mean?
And the truth is that in much of our lives, we are wondering what all this means. With more and more vaccinations taking place in our community, with many people are noting a greater sense of freedom, just knowing that they are much less likely to have or to spread COVID. And we are noting that folks are asking new questions of themselves and of the community. What does this feeling of freedom mean practically? What can we do now that we couldn't do before? What old patterns are we excited to return to, recognizing the precautions that are still in place? And also, what new patterns or new awarenesses have we developed that we want to keep? These are questions we are asking too.
As you experience this season of both weeping and of hope, and as you wonder what all this means, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We are available to process with you and to pray with you. And we also want to leave you today with this blessing from the Corrymeela community. God, whose voice brings new life, God, whose song recreates our world, when the news discourages and the scene before us is one we wish we could turn off, may we close our eyes and listen.
May the sounds you bring to our ears and the landscape we create within ourselves through music and rhythm and song calm us when we need calmed, inspire us when we need inspiration,
and encourage us to live for others whenever we need new courage. Amen. So to each of you, Salford friends, may God be with you till we meet again.